So what other services have you used?
Not any services or anything. I just used it to deploy using App Engine, right? Just mostly the deployment stuff, and I used App Engine.
Okay. So in this Google Cloud, I've explained about what are the projects, how to create a project, and we just like in other cloud services, just like GCP in other cloud. So just like in AWS and Microsoft Azure, GCP also have a services for big data, data engineering, data science, DevOps, and complete software development services. So in GCP also, we will going to see the same. So the motive is to just show you what are the services from being data engineering perspective important. So we're going to pick one by one and we're going to start. So there are few services. Uh, I'm telling you the name. Just a minute. Whenever you join any organization, you will going to use that services as in a data engineering team. First thing is your storage. Okay. Storage is one service of GCP where we store the data. Second is your BigQuery data warehousing. Where we will write the SQL query and we will going to save the data. We're going to process the data. We're going to means use the data. So in BigQuery as well, we have to write the query like an SQL so that we can access the data of a large size like a normal database. Suppose if we have a 10 million row, it is very difficult to fetch, right? So in BigQuery, there are few instructions or queries are there through which you can query 1 TB of data at a time. You can query as many as large data set. So BigQuery is there. Then Dataproc, which is called as a Spark service, just like a Hadoop and a Spark open source platform, uh, like in Amazon, AWS, Elastic MapReduce, EMR. So in Azure Data Factory, Data Lake. Similarly, in GCP, this is called a Dataproc, which is similar to which is called a Spark service. Then Apache Beam to create a pipeline. Do you understand this term pipeline?
Yes,
Okay, good. So pipeline means connecting the output of one of the module to the another. So we are creating a pipeline. Every module is depend on each other. Okay, so this is Apache Beam, then cloud database. So being a deployment, you might have work on App Engine, Kubernetes.
correct.
Okay, AI Vertex Notebook for machine learning, and Compute Engine for creating the instances to provide a high computing to your machine, VM instance, and VPC. So these are the few basic services that being a data engineer you should aware about it. And finally, there is one more call as a data studio. This is actually to create a dashboard, just like in Power BI, Tableau, we create a dashboard, right? Graphs. So in Data Studio as well, I will going to show you how you can create the graphs in the Data Studio by using the data from external source, from storage, from BigQuery, how you can create a dashboard with the data from several sources that could be come from either your storage, or it could be come from your BigQuery table, or it could be come from your external source. So we will going to focus on this service, but there are many more services. We're going to see everyone, but being a data engineering site, you should be aware about at least these are the services, because in every job description, these services will be mentioned if the company is using GCP cloud. Okay, so this Spark and Hadoop and one more, yeah, I forgot to add one more thing here. Cloud Composer, which is called as Airflow, to automate or to run the DAG, to automate your task. Okay, like you don't have to manually run every task. You just schedule it that suppose every morning this task will going to be run. So there is an Apache Airflow, we say it in cloud, that is known as in GCP, it is known as Cloud Composer. We're going to see this. So let's start with the storage first. So in this Google Cloud platform, if you just click on this three horizontal bar, you are going to see every service name. You can see here IAM, compliance, security, compute engine, Kubernetes.
So can I set this cloud in my machine also?
Yeah, you can enroll it. You just this Google Cloud platform, they give you 3 month free trial. You just have to enroll with your credit card. It will going to deduct according to Indian currency 2 rupees from your account to just check your authentication, and it will going to return you that within a 1 week. So 3 month free trial it gives, $300 almost. So that is more than enough to learn the complete cloud.
I
And
see.
I will going to explain you as well. Like if you are preparing for any certification, then also we can do it. So $300 is more than enough. You can prepare on that, and once you are done with this, you can always remember that whatever service you are using while trial period, you close it immediately after being used, because you are in a learning stage. So when you delete those service, it will not going to charge. But suppose if you create any instances in the machine and you forgot it, then it will going to exhaust your $300. So that's why, but $300 is more than enough. They give you 3 month free trial. 3 month is more than enough to explore this Google Cloud. However, the other cloud services like AWS and Azure, they give only 2 month access.
I see.
They give only 2 month access, so it will be more means for beginner perspective, they it's very limited.
Okay.
Okay, AWS and Azure only 1 month they give. 2 year till 2 year before, till 2 year before in 2019 or 18 around, when the cloud were completely new, at that time they were giving till 1 year access to
Wow.
capture the market,
Mhm.
and to gain a customer, to get more customer. And they found that it was like that the method was really helping to them, and they gained lot of customer. Because see, once you use this 3 month free trial period, it will going to give you a message, do you want to upgrade? Because once you want to upgrade, then only you have to pay the bill. Suppose you use for 3 months and they send you a charge for $10. Suppose $300 exhausted, and $10 is your billing for the fourth month. Then they give you they send you the bill. If you are okay, then you just click on upgrade and pay the amount for the next $10. You pay the amount, and then monthly wise they will going to send your billing to you based on your uses. But suppose if you don't want to continue, you can just reply to the same mail, I don't want to continue. So it will not going to deduct any amount from your account. It doesn't mean that many times I've seen while starting any cloud service, they say that if we enter the credit card credential, they will deduct an amount from a card. No, if you are willing to upgrade, then only they deduct, unless otherwise they don't deduct the amount. So $300 is more than enough. You just have to enroll on this cloud. For enrolling, you have to enter your credit card credential, and then it will going to verify the credential within a 4 to 5 hour, and it will make your account active. It's very easy. No need to worry on that. Only remember that the credit card that you use, it should have a international payment service.
Right.
So these are the different services are there. We're going to see one by one every services. So today I'm starting about the project. See here, if you can see, there are multiple projects are here, right? So it means that whichever project I will going to select, inside that, whatever services I'm using like App Engine, storage, will belong to this project only. Suppose you want to create a new project. How you're going to do that? Just click on this new project. Now inside this you can see the random name coming. Okay, and you can see you have a 22 project remaining in your quota. It means that in a free trial you can create, I have already create 3, you can
You can
create
have
20.
25.
Yeah, so you can create 22 more. So let's do that. Uh, uh, I'm giving a name. So I'm giving this name. Okay, suppose Hatinder DE project, or let me take only DE project, small one. And this no organization means if you want to create this project inside any organization, in the sense inside any hierarchy, then you can use it. Hierarchy means like, suppose if you want to create this project inside the any of this project, then you use it. Otherwise, if you don't want, if you want to create an additional separate project, then you can use it. Just like, suppose that new project that you are creating is the advance of this project. So you decided to uh, create a project inside this, then you can select it. Otherwise, if you don't want, you can just select no organization. And parental organization means which is a parent folder, just like a folder hierarchy in our system, right?
Mhm.
So you can see here, once you give a project name, it cannot be changed because it's an identification. So you can just click on the create button. You can see here, it will going to give you a notification here once the project is created successfully. See here, the project is created successfully. Click on this select project. Now DE project 47193 is available now. Okay, now here DE project, now whatever service that you will going to use will be inside this project only. Okay, let me show you with, let me start with one project, one service. The most easiest service I feel that cloud storage. So let me start with the storage. Before coming to the storage, there are a few things. Just a minute. So here what I did. So here what I did that I just uh, I just create the project here, and I enable the billing here. Billing in the sense like, to store the data in the cloud, I have to enable the billing that I decided for my project. So I just created a billing, and I just set it. I will show you what does it mean. Let it enable. Actually, there is an option of billing, means you can decide how much amount you can spend. So based on that, you can create a billing. So there is a billing account for you. Means I have enrolled here with my credit card credential. So I have enabled the billing here. So I'm just setting my account to that billing. So just wait 1 minute, let it be enabled.
It takes some
Time based on the internet speed and your network. Okay, let me just try here. As I change the project, so it is asking me to enable the billing account for this particular project.
I see.
In previous project, I have already enabled, so it won't show there. But as I create the new account, I have to enable the billing on this specific account.
Okay.
So it won't deduct the amount. It's just to enable a billing so that they can count the amount based on your storage data. So let's wait for 1 minute. If it not enable quickly, because it depends on your network, might be my network is not good. But in case if it not enable in 1 minute, I can show you in another project how we can save the data and how we can use cloud service.
I see.
I will going to share the syllabus with you for associate cloud engineer. You can go through it. If you are planning for any certification, that also you can do it. So normally means for the certification according to the Indian currency for associate they charge I think $125 associate cloud engineer we say ACE we call it, associate cloud engineer. After that there is a professional data engineer course. Then there is a professional machine learning engineer course is also there. There is a DevOps engineer is also there. So DevOps course is also there. So like this is the hierarchy. Basic is an associate cloud, just like in my Azure there is a structure like fundamental, then data engineering, then their code level is there like AZ400, AZ300, like that code is there. In AWS is a solution architect, AWS cloud engineer. So like different cloud having a different name of the certification, but every certification having their own value. Okay, let me show you on another project. So you can see here I created a project. Okay, and inside this project these are the file that I have saved it, right? So this file, I have saved it, and in this file, in this storage, it doesn't ask me to create a billing, right? Why? Because I already enabled the billing on this. So when you will also going to open this service, it will going to ask you enable the billing. So you just have to click on the enable billing, and it will going to enable quickly. It will take some time, around 5 to 7 minutes. I have to save the time, so I'm showing you in my another project. But when you will going to do, you just create a new project and enable the billing from here. Okay. These are the data that I've saved it. Let me show you how you can use, how you can save your record. Here I'm deleting the record now. I will going to say, show you how you can save a record as well. So before, let me save this, then I will going to explain you a few of the concept of the GCP. Then we'll move.
Sure.
See, before starting about the storage, there are a few things that you should be aware about it. See, there are two things in the cloud that you, whenever you create any service, they will going to ask you to select region and zone. What do you mean by this region and zone? See, cloud. Why do we use first of all storage? Okay, any idea on that? Why do we use any storage service? In AWS, it is S3 storage.
Mhm.
In in Microsoft Azure, it is blob storage. So why do we use storage?
So it's like to put your data on the cloud, right? So it's accessible via an API.
Yeah, this is one reason. Another reason is like your data will be safe. You can never lost your data. Why we are
Mhm.
using cloud service? Because we have a restriction of size of a storage and memory in our system.
Correct.
So cloud storage is basically about the hard disk. Okay, so lot of application they deployed in the cloud, like a banking application, and every day they generate lot of data, transaction data. So they have to save in somewhere that they cannot be lost in any situation. Suppose I give you one example. Recently, last year, my hard disk got crash of my laptop and I lost the data. So it's very difficult to recover a data from that. Okay. But in the cloud storage, if your data is present, you will never lose your data. In case, suppose the Google data center, they get crash, they replicate your data by default 3 times, so they can give you data from other. So you will never lose your data in any situation, and you are overcoming the storage constraint as well, right? So this is the reason that why we use cloud storage. Now, what is the reason? See, uh, the cloud data center, they are deployed in a different region in the sense of the world, like Europe, America, Asia, South America. Like this, there are different region are there. I will going to
Mhm.
show you this. Every region will have a multiple zone. Every
Yes.
region will have a multiple zone where actually the data centers are placed, where data
Mhm.
centers are deployed. For example, if I talk about Asia. So in Asia, there are different reason. In Asia, there are different reasons are there, like Japan, China, India, right? In India, there is several zone. You can say it like Mumbai and Delhi. Like that, zones are there. You can just think like the different region of the world, and in that different region of the world, zones are there where actually the data center is placed, where server are placed. And based on this, based on our deployment of an application and to whom we are providing the application, we have to select that. Suppose your application is based on a web series that is being played on US central zone, then you're going to select nearby zone so that that application can be more responsive. Latency should be delay. But it doesn't mean that you cannot use other zone. You are free to select zone. So pricing will be based on your reason. Okay, which your complete pricing will be based on reason. Which reason do you select? The most costliest reason is US Central, because it is reachable to the every zone, and most of the application be deployed in a US Central. So it is the costly one, expensive, and we use mostly this one. Okay. So let me show you this. Now suppose, first of all, now we're going to see how we can save a data. Okay. In order to save a data, you have to first create a container. That container call as a bucket.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Before saving in AWS as well, we call as an S3 bucket. So here as well, we call as a bucket. It means that you are creating a container first to keep your means items on that. So just click on this create bucket. Now one more thing that I wanted to tell you. Suppose you are new to the cloud service, you wanted to explore. So every service when you open, you will get this kind of a screen. So when you get
Okay.
this kind of a screen, what you have to do, you just have to click on this, take a quick start. So it will going to show you the document that you can prefer to learn the cloud services. You can see here, you will going to get the step here, how to create a bucket, how to upload a file, how to delete a bucket, how much time it takes, what will be the pricing. You will get a complete detail here. You click on the click start, then you will going to get details like in a cloud storage, how to create a bucket. Bucket name should be unique globally. How to select the reason, how to select the different storage classes. Complete detail you will going to get it here. Click on the next, and how you upload the file. um, so how to delete it, everything you can get it from this, right? So let me show you. Click on this create bucket. We are creating a container now. Here now you have to give a unique name. So I'm giving a D. Always remember, everything should be in a like a lower case. It should not be in uppercase. So D bucket, D bucket demo. I have given the name. So now you see here, it's, so you can see here, it's now, it has been taken, right? Why it has been taken? Because it is, there is no duplicacy. It is, this name is unique. You can see here, pick a
Mm-hmm.
globally unique permanent name. So the name should be globally unique. It has not been used by anyone before. Okay. Then if you want to add any label to this bucket, you can add it. Label means just a tag. If you want to add to tells the detail about it, you can add it. Otherwise you can just click on this continue. Now it is asking you whether you want your data to be saved in a different region or in a dual region or any single region. So it's on your selection. Now you can see here location type. If you want to get more clarity, click on this learn more, and when you click on this learn more, you will going to get a detail here. What are the different reason? Okay, you can see a region is a specific geographic place. Dual region means you can select two regions. Suppose you want to save a data in Asia and America. Multi region means you can save a data in more than one region. So this was a thing. If it's completely on the requirement, so use a reason will going to help you to reduce the latency and get the data more quickly. Okay, perform more operation on that. So you can create a multi-region, dual region, or single region based on your requirement. Okay, I am selecting a single region as of now because it's a free trial. So I wanted to check the monthly estimate. As you select any of this feature, you will going to get the detail as well here, like how much will be the charges. You can see 0.20 per GB per month will be your charge. Okay, so it will be per month, it will be going to be a charge. Okay, location, these are the different reason. Okay, North America, Northeast, then Toronto, Sao Paulo, Santiago, then in a Europe, these are the different reason. Then in the Asia, these are the different reason. You can see here Mumbai, Delhi is a zone in India. Then Singapore, Jakarta, Sydney, Melbourne, then North America, US East, right? So there are different reasons are here. You can use any one of this based on the requirement. I am selecting, I was talking about this US Central Lower, right? This is the most expensive and mostly used, but it doesn't mean that you will also use this every time. It's on your uses. It's the requirement. We have to select it. So right now I'm selecting, suppose Europe Central, and as I select it, they will going to, you can see here, the charges has changed now. You can see it was earlier 0.20, it is now 0.23 now. Did you notice this?
Yes.
Okay. So after this, once you select the reason, click on continue. Now this is the storage class, which is one of the most important thing here. The storage class are of four type. Storage class means what? Storage class means it will apply billing to your account or set the cost based on your storage retrieval and operation. Standard one, suppose you want to save a data for a short term and very frequently access. You save a data for either 1 month or 1 week and you are accessing the data daily. So you should select standard.
Mhm.
Nearline. Okay, if you want to access the data as you are saving a data as a backup and you will access means very rarely within a month, or you will access only 2-3 times within a month, then you should select nearline, means their frequency is less as compared to standard. Then a cold line, suppose you want to save a data just as a backup to prevent it from being destroyed in case of disaster, and you will going to access once in a quarter. It's it's not that important, but you will going to use in a quarter, then you should select cold line. And archive is one which is best for a long term, when you want to save a data and want to access the data within a year. So you can see here the duration is changing and access frequency is also changing, where more is the frequency standard, less frequency 1 or 2 time in a month near line, 1 time in a quarter cold line. And archive when you want to save a data for a whole year and you can access very frequently, or you can access the data rarely on that, or frequently within that particular year, then archive. So when company they are creating a storage to save a data, they select this storage. Transaction data they use archive because they have to save the data on cloud, right? And they have to access it frequently, right? The transaction data, if anyone yesterday raised a question that I have not done the transaction, how this happened to account, then bank employees should can access the data and can confirm it. So it completely on this storage class. So I'm
Yes.
selecting the standard one, then click continue. Now it will going to ask you a question whether you want to restrict the data from being publicly accessed and you want to apply some security. Then you can select this enforce public access if you want to give an access. If you don't want, you just access the control by uniform and fine grain. Uniform means you have there is an IAM service in the cloud. I will going to show you this one where we create a permission. As a manager, you can decide to whom you should give a service. Okay, like suppose Atinder, you are the manager. Under you, 5 people are working. Every team member have a designated task. So who is currently working on the storage, you will going to give him an access, right? And access can be either read operation, write operation, or edit option, right?
Right.
So these three roles are there. We're going to see that as well. But as of now, how you will going to make those changes? Okay, so you have to either you can select uniform or fine grain. If you use uniform, then it means that whatever permission you enable on the bucket, based on that, people can access it. Fine grain means that you will going to give a specific access to the individual object by giving a permission. Like suppose, what does it mean? Uh, in that bucket, you have a multiple file, then you can give a specific file access. Like suppose Amit can use the file related to database. Herman can use file related to machine learning. There is one more person who can access the object related to DevOps. Like that, we
I
have to
see.
create. So you can select fine grain in that case. But as of now, I'm just creating a uniform because whatever permission I will going to create, it will be applicable to my all bucket. Click continue. Then how you protect the data? Do you want to apply any security encryption? Do you want to create any image of that data to prevent it from being lost? So even if you do not select this option, object versioning, retention policy, even that you can recover a data. Your data will never be a loss. It will going to replicate the data in a different data center by the cloud. But suppose you want to ensure from your side, you can select object versioning option, means how much replica you want.
Okay.
So here, suppose object versioning, means it's just like a in term in term of DevOps and all, we say creating an image of that file. So you can recover a data from that particular image. Image in the sense
Okay.
is not like a image file. It's just like in simple term, it means you are creating a one file. When you are going to run that
Yeah,
file,
like when you create your image, you give like in your Docker file also, right? You mention
yes,
your
yes,
image.
yeah, correct. So we call as a versioning. Object versioning means creating a copy of that, and when we run that, we will completely recover the data. So there is an image we created. You if you do you have use a VM instance, VirtualBox? Have you used
No,
VirtualBox?
no, we
Okay.
don't use.
So in your laptop, you can run another operating system as well. Dual operating system you can run. But suppose you don't have a memory, then you have to install a VirtualBox. Okay, in that VirtualBox, you can just upload the image of a Windows, Linux. Okay,
Yes, like ISO image.
Yeah, ISO image. Good. In the same, that image is called, I'm talking about, that mean a file. Okay, in the ISO format, in a compressed format, you are creating the object versioning file. So in the virtual box, you upload the IOX ISO file, right? So similar way, object versioning means we are creating the file of that. So how many version you want, that you can select. If you want to retention policy means, if you want to retain your data for a long time, okay, or you want to specify the time for how much you want to save your data, okay, after the specific minute the data won't be available. So you can just create a retention object and you can select it, days, month. Suppose you create a retention object, 60, and you select a year, and based on that you can click on this create. But right now I'm going to take none. Retention policy means how long do you want to keep the file on that, and after that it will automatically be disabled. Okay, after that data encryption, so here if you select this, then you can select your own encryption technique, encryption key. Encryption key means suppose you create some encryption algorithm and you can select it here, but it doesn't require, because GCP is more secure. And now you just click on this create. It seemed to be a tedious to you right now because just for using a storage this much, why we need to do, just for security purpose, as we are doing first time, that's why I'm explaining you a little bit more. But when you're going to do it for your time, it won't take more than 1 minute. You just have to click, continue, continue, continue. Now
Yes.
here in this particular container you want to upload a file, just click on this upload file. And suppose I am uploading this file, or let me create an image file. So you just upload it here. You can see upload started, and upload is done. You can see here upload image is available. And when the image is uploaded, you will going to get detail like size, type, when the bucket is created, what is the storage class, when you modify the file, whether it is public access, encryption key. Okay, now suppose you want to download the data, click here on that particular arrow, the image will get downloaded. Okay, similarly if you want to delete the data, if you want to create a copy, if you want to move it, if you want to export, the different services are there. PubSub, I will going to show you creating a pipelines and all. PubSub is
Mhm.
like a Kafka service.
Publish and subscribe.
Yeah, publisher and subscriber. So it is in a cloud, there is a PubSub service are there where you can
Mhm.
use this to publish and subscribe it. You can download it, you can edit an access to whom you want to give an access, right? Similarly, you can upload the folder as well. Click on this and you click on upload folder. If you select any folder, it will get uploaded. So let me think if I have anything. So I'm just uploading a random folder. So here folder will also get upload. You can see here. If you click on this folder, if you click on this folder, you're going to get this all file. You see this?
Yes.
These are the file name. You can go back. So this is a bucket name. You click the bucket, you will see the file, right? You can get the detail here. This is the folder I uploaded. That's why nothing is coming here. If I go inside this, then I can see the detail. So I'm going inside this, then this will be the size of file, what kind of file, when it is created, public, non-public access, everything you will going to get the detail here. So this is all about the storage. Do you want to create an account now, or you will be able to create an account from your own? So as you are uh, learning this time, so always remember whatever instances or you create inside the cloud, after your access you delete it. So that, because suppose you create this bucket and you forgot to delete it, then it will keep on billing you, it will keep on calculating the amount. However, it won't be much chargeable, but storage is not that much chargeable, but still we within a free tier account we have to save the amount so that we can explore more service within a 3 month, right? So once your task is done, you select this checkbox and click on delete. Once you click on delete, it will going to ask you by typing delete here. So just to check that you are not the robot, so you just type delete here and click on delete. So your bucket will going to be delete here. It will going to take some time for deleting the bucket, right? So this is all about the storage service. Okay, inside this storage you can monitor this monitor as well, based on your storage. Right now I deleted it, that's why it's not showing you. But suppose if you create a bucket, then based on the uses it will going to show you some graph. Suppose if other services are using that, then it shows you that what is the performance of that particular bucket in 1 hour, how many people they access it, in 6 hour, 12 hour, 6 week. You can customize as well. If you want more than 1 year, you can say it. So this is all about the storage, like different kind of a classes: standard, cold line, near line, archive. These are different kind of storage there. Project ID, if you want to know, you just click on, once you create a project, there are two things also will be available to you. That is project ID, just like employee name, employee ID, right? So there is a
Yes,
project ID as well in the Google Cloud, that you might need it when you going to use it. Similarly, there is a command prompt as well, just like a terminal, where you will going to run the commands. So you can see here in this terminal, you can run the you can run the several command here. And just like in a terminal command prompt we run, you can get several command one by one, you can run it and you can access the APIs. So this is very easy, GCP as compared to other cloud, and it is capturing the market nowadays, because as Google is capturing the market, so GCP is widely used nowadays. So you want to create an account, uh, or you will going to create from your own?
I can create an account right now.
Yeah, if you want to.
Let me try. This is Google Cloud Platform, right?
Mhm.
Get started for free. Startup.
Yes. Um,
Personal.
yes, person. Other you can select. There is other option as well. Can you just, yeah, other you select it. Yes. Continue. Enter the, wait. Let me stop recording. I think that card is already been entered, right?
Yeah, this is my card for my Google Pay and
Okay.
YouTube
Yeah.
Premium.
So click on the start my free trial. Yes. What brought to the Google Pay? Yes. Next. Next, there's not much require. Choose anything.
Oh, what happened?
Yes. So here the cloud is enable. Yeah. You see this notification is there in the top. One circle on your right top. Yes. Okay, your project is also created. It's enabled now. Yeah, good. So you can access the service from here, that cloud storage and IAM role, billing. You scroll down, you're going to get the storage as well.
Cloud storage, file storage.
Yes, cloud storage. And here you can create a bucket. You can click on take quick start as well, and you can go through it as well.
Region, I should just say which one?
Anything you can select. It's just for learning purpose, so you can select any reason. Anyway, you will going to delete that bucket after the uses, so you can create any.
Standard, right?
Yes.
Uniform.
Yes. When once you give the bucket name, after that you can just click on continue, and you can click on creating the projects.
Okay. And I can upload files.
Yes.
I can upload any kind of file, like for example,
Yeah, you can upload any kind of file. Only exe file, I don't think it allows, maybe due to the virus and all. So exe file, they don't allow to save it.
oh, it knows the type of the file also.
Yeah, it immediately find out the based on the extension, based on the uh, like dot json dot exe, it immediately find it out. And exe file it won't allow. I tried it for when I was doing one project in that Google. So in that I have seen that exe file, due to virus and all, it won't allow that. Even in a Gmail as well. Gmail is also a cloud. Did you try sending
Yeah, so yeah, Gmail doesn't even allow JavaScript files, right?
yes.
JavaScript also Gmail doesn't allow.
Yeah, but in WhatsApp you can send that. In WhatsApp as well. Earlier it was giving an issue, but now you can send it if you if you just zip it.
Yeah, zip in Google also you can zip and send. Yeah.
Yeah, but exe file you cannot send it. Even if you zip it in a exe, even if you zip exe file, you cannot send that. They will going to check it.
Okay.
The algorithm is so like strong there that it won't allow.
I see. Okay.
So you can see here that storage is created, right? If you want to
Correct.
download it, you can download it by the three dot. At the end, do you see the three dot on your right?
Yeah, yeah,
You
yes,
can
yes.
click on this arrow as well, and you can uh, you can click on that three dot, and you will going to get a several option. Whether you want to export, whether you want to access it from outside. right? Click on the three dot. Yes. So you see that you are getting the different option, right? Move, rename, export to cloud, export to PubSub, scan with a cloud, data loss prevention, edit metadata, edit access. So these are the cloud storage service that we have seen today. I will going to explain you in my next lecture IAM role. If you just click on the three horizontal bar on your laptop, there is an IAM. Yes, IAM admin. Go to the IAM top, first one, first option.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, is okay. So in that IAM, we can create a several role. You can see here at in the .js@gmail.com means particularly this user ID have an access. So like that, as a manager who is working in the company to whom you want to give an access, you just have to add their username just like an email ID and role, whether he's a owner role, visitor role, editor role, viewer role, like that you have to give the role there. We're going to see next lecture that like how what are the different kind of roles are there and how you can assign to that. And based on this IAM role, you can give an access to whom you can access the services, because you cannot give access to everyone inside the organization, right? Data team will have a data access. Other than that, nobody can access it, right? That's why we have to ask the data team to either provide a access or provide a data. So you might have faced the situation when you working in the company that you want to access something and you don't have a access to that, so you send a mail to the designated team and they replied you with the data, right? So like this IAM role, you have to create a on to specific person you want to give a access, what kind of access, which service you want to give access, that we're going to see here. Is it clear?
Yes.